Hello, welcome to Moneytudes series. My name is Wisdom Elder. I'm here from the desk of Inspiration Age Ministries. All right. So I want to celebrate everyone that has been following us. All right. Visionomics continues. We are looking at Visionomics under the errors of the prodigal son under Moneytudes series. Moneytudes series has to do with the various attitudes of money. All right, so let's not forget we have been on vision as one of the things that the prodigal son actually lacked. All right, so I'll be talking on the various stages of vision. We've talked from the idea stage to the skill stage, and then to the project stage, and then to the business stage. All right. This is because we say vision is an extraordinary rendition of ideas with patterns, concepts, projects, profitable activities, and smart actions for a selected people beyond the generation, space, and time with regulations and benefits. That actually is the definition of vision as far as visionomics is concerned. So today, I think we're going to be looking at the test of vision. The test of vision. After this, we'll be coming into the other aspects of the stages of vision. Since we have gotten into the contemporary ideas that is required to thrive as far as this dispensation is concerned, we are going into the test of vision. The test of vision, we'll be looking at a very important scripture in the Bible, which is Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 11. The Bible says, "As an eagle stirreth up her nest, flattereth over her young, spreadeth abroad her wings, taketh them, beareth them on her wings, so the Lord alone did to Israel." I come again. As the eagle stirreth up her nest, the eagle at a time will decide to stir up the nest. All right. The eaglets have always been in comfort. The eagle goes out to hunt and brings fresh meat for the eaglets. They will all eat from the mouth of the eagle. After a while the eagle had been nurturing them, training them, taking care of them, after a while, when the eagle has already satisfied herself that she has reached that stage whereby these eaglets can now begin to exercise themselves. So this eagle will have to take the net up, will start, you know, picking the net, and picking the net and scattering the net. And after scattering the net, you will now stir up the net. Stirring up the net, the eaglets will now begin to fall. And when they start falling, he will now flatter her wings over them, and they will fall on her wings. And then the eagle will start going higher again, very far, and afterwards will release the eaglets again, and they flatter her wing. Later on, while they are falling, the eagle will go down, flatter her wing, pick them up again, spread her wings abroad, and take them and bears them on her wings. That's what the Bible is saying here in Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 11. As the eagle stirreth up her nests, flattereth her young, spreadeth abroad her wings, taketh them, beareth them on her wings, so the Lord alone did Israel. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to just remove your religious mindset right now. Let's go into serious business. All right? Let me make you understand something. First of all, every vision must be tested. Every vision must be tested. If you have a skill, your skill must go through a stage of tests. It's compulsory. Your vision, your ideas must go through trial and testing period. All right? Every vision must be tested. Every visionary, as the man that has a vision, must also undergo tests. Test of capacity, test of loyalty, test of commitment, test of strength, test of passion, test of interest. There's a stage of visionomics. I don't know if we are going to get to that stage as far as visionomics is concerned, so that we talk about the advanced level of understanding of vision. Then we talk about envisioning your vision and dreaming your dreams. Dreaming dreams and envisioning vision. That's stepping out from the vision and assuming the cap of someone else to look into your own vision. Assuming the cap of a master. Assuming the cap of another person entirely, as if you are not the visionary. You are looking into your vision from another eyes, from another dimension. Because many times, people who have vision, they don't see themselves. It takes other people to see them. It takes other people to be able to analyze them. As I'm talking to you, there are people who can really analyze me and tell me this is the kind of person you are. This is what you need. There are people who can really analyze and tell you a lot about you based on observation, based on how they have met you and seen you. I mean, the ones that will be very clear and concise, not the ones that will be analyzing you based on premonition, but based on idiosyncrasy, based on what they feel, not based on facts. There are people who can factually analyze you. They can see you better. Sometimes they are your mentors. Sometimes they are your very closest friend. Sometimes they could be your spouse. They can see you very well. They know you sometimes more than you know yourself. So we are looking at that stage of envisioning your vision and dreaming the dream. You are looking at stepping out from the vision and looking at it from another concept entirely, another dimension, looking at it not as an insider but now as an outsider. And there are so many steps. There are so many steps, over 18 steps, on how to carry out that exercise effectively and successfully. Why am I saying this? Because when a visionary is going through trials, many times he will feel that, it's a strange world, so he doesn't see himself. So why we need to understand what we're about to say now is because every visionary must go through tests. Test of capacity, test of loyalty, test of obedience, test of submission, test of commitment. Even commitment to clients. Even when things are hard, when you look like everywhere is broken, things are going bad, you are still going to go through a test. To see how committed some visionaries are, when they go through tests, it defines their real person. That's why I don't bother myself over people that leave me at my time of test. And I would also bother myself over people that display a different attitude or habits in the time of even plenty, in the time of wealth, in the time of breakthrough. I don't bother myself because many things must test a person. If money does not test the person, then lack of money can test the person. If success does not test the person, then failure can test the person. All right? So every vision must be tested. So I want us to understudy how visions are tested, how visionaries are tested. We are going to be using the Bible as a case study. So some of you who do not understand the Bible, you have your responsibility now to just follow me so that you can understand the Bible. All right? Now, God told the Israelites, He told Moses, He said, take these people when you are leaving Egypt. Egypt is an existing nation here on earth. I know a lot of people do not believe some things they see in the Bible because most people believe they are fictions and they are stories. All right? Okay, so Israel is a story as well as Egypt. The Egypt in the Bible is not the Egypt in real life, in real time. And the Israel in the Bible is not the real Israel, okay? Now that's what most people feel, that's what most people believe. But in reality, the Egypt you are seeing here was the Egypt, is the Egypt that is still existing here on earth today. In fact, the location, the geographical location of this same Egypt is still the same location, except some countries must have broken out from the original location. All right? Then Israel that you hear in the Bible is still the same Israel. The father of Israel has to be Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. And Israel told his generation how these things happen. The same way Abraham told his generation how things happen, Isaac and so on, and the generation unborn. So stories kept on moving from one generation to another until a certain generation had to come and start writing the history of their ancestors. And that was the case, that was the days of Moses, the era of Moses. All right? So Moses was the one that started writing, and Moses learned writing from Egypt. That means the civilization of Egypt brought Moses about. So in case you don't know that there is Egypt, which Moses went, Moses of the Bible, please, you will still need to go and make your inquiries because Moses once existed. Israel once existed. David once existed. All the characters you see in the Bible are not fictions, they are real. In fact, in biblical interpretation, anytime Bible gives the name of a location, name of a person, or name of environment, it amounts to reality. But when the Bible did not give name in giving a story or a parable, then that amounts to a story or a parable. That is a principle of biblical interpretation. All right. So in this case, Israel actually was mentioned. That means it was not a parable; it was a realistic story. Just like the case of the man going from Jerusalem to Jericho. Jesus said a certain man was traveling from Jerusalem to Jericho, and on the way, thieves beat him up. He was giving an example of who your neighbor actually is. Is a parable. All right? Jesus said a certain man had two sons. That's the story of the prodigal son. It's also a parable. All right? It was not something, according to the biblical interpretation, he was using that to teach them about something. But you see, when Jesus said there was a man named Lazarus, he was not giving a parable. He was giving a practical event of what actually happened. Remember, in that same story, he said he died and went to Abraham's bosom. He was not giving a parable. Now, most people do not understand this. He mentioned hell and he mentioned paradise, Abraham's bosom. He was not giving a parable. All right? Now, he talked about the rich man having 7 brothers. He was not giving, he was referring exactly to people related to. He did not give the name of the rich man because, as far as that story is concerned, the name of the rich man was not necessary, but the name of Lazarus, Abraham's bosom, hell, heaven, place of torment, a dip of water to quench his thirst. All these were necessary in order to make us understand what life after death is. To the sinner on one side and to the righteous man on the other side. So right now we are going into the Bible. I want to tell us about how a city, a people called Israelites, when they were living, when Israel was leaving Egypt, they could have gone through another route, 3 days to enter into Canaan. But God said something. He said to Moses, take them through the way of the wilderness. That was another route. And when they went through that way, then this word started applying. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 11. The test of vision started applying. The number one test. He led them and there was no food and there was no water. How are they going to survive? Now they needed to depend on God and believe in Him as the one that is going to sustain them. But instead of that, they started attacking Moses. So the first phase of that test is that the eagle has now taken the eaglets and thrown them up. And there was no support left, right, and center. And they were falling and falling. At that point, they looked around, they could not see God. They could not see anybody. They could not see friends. They could not see well-wishers. That is the beginning of the test of a man with vision. He does not see support. He does not see friends. And is left alone in the dark. At that point, what do you do? Now, the word is telling us that when they start falling like that, there's always going to be another coming down and another carrying. As it goes, that is how the cycle of vision goes. The eagles will now begin to go again. You will begin to see yourself rising again and rising again. After a while, you will begin to see yourself looking as if you are coming down. Every vision must be tested. That is the cycle of vision. The cycle of vision. The cycle of visionomics. The test we go through in pursuing the vision. Once we follow this understanding, we will understand that at the point of going down to pursue the vision, and we are going through attacks, we are going through challenges, left, right, and center, we should understand, like the eagle, we are still going to be lifted again to start coming up. But the challenge there is, what do you do at these stages of your test? What do you do at these stages of your trials? What do you do at these stages of your persecution? What do you do at these stages when you are left alone? What do you do at these stages when there is going to be economic hardship, economic meltdown? Certain people during lockdown ran out of funds. I know some families that said for the first time, they never believed in their life that they could even beg for food. But during lockdown, they even saw themselves begging for food. You had money, but you cannot access the money because there was nothing to eat. At that point, companies were closing. Most companies have projected their pressure time not to be that period. They have projected that within the next 6 months, after that they might be having some pressure, so they have to prepare ahead of that 6 months time in order to beat the pressure. Unfortunately, lockdown met everybody at the beginning of the year. Schools were shut down. Most owners of private schools would have spent a lot of their money expanding, developing, hoping that when school resumes, they are going to recoup all the money they must have spent. But all that was going in the drain because there was no source of income. People tried all they could. So to some people, this is their period where the eagle dropped the eaglet and they kept running down and running down. To some people, this is their period. As you are going down like the eaglet, don't forget that someone threw you down. As far as vision is concerned, don't forget that the vision originated from someone, and someone has just pushed you down in order for you to go through the test of trusting the mother eagle that is going to come back and pick you up again. I was listening to a speaker talking about time of crisis and time of progress. After a time of progress, there's going to be crisis, and then there will be another time of progress, and so on and so forth. So everybody can be might be going out from their own crisis, or some people are going out of their own progress. So there's just going to be this cycle and cycle in the pursuit of vision that every matured visionary should be ready for. You should be strong. You should be ready. You should tell yourself, I am capable. No matter whatever is going on, the period of lockdown, you should understand that yes, this also is going to pass, and then I'm going to be lifted. I know some people might be seeing doom, they might be seeing end of the world, they might be seeing all kinds of challenges, they might be seeing you hitting the rock bottom and no more coming out. Let me tell you, as far as the program is concerned, that period of test is a period to confirm a lot of things about you. If you know you are doing it correctly, you are doing the right thing, it's not a period to give up. It's not a period to fall, to look back. It's not a period to doubt your capacity. It's not a period to doubt who you are, the kind of things you have been able to achieve. It's not a period to doubt what you have, your products. It's not even a period to doubt your workers. It's not a period to sack and start throwing things up and down. It's just a test. It's a test of your capacity. Sometimes it's a test of patience. Sometimes it's a test of understanding. The same idea that took you up and has left you, you are coming down. That same idea will still come to repeat itself. Another idea will still take you up. So there is no giving up in vision. There is no giving up in vision. There is no giving up in the pursuit of your dream. No matter how much the plane is crashing, you don't give up. No matter the matter, no matter the situation, no matter how costly the challenges are, you do not give up on your vision. You do not give up on your dreams. You don't let go. You keep holding on. It could be the last strength. When Thomas Edison's laboratory caught fire, one of the biggest laboratories in those days, where he was doing all his inventions, the storage, everything. Imagine when you are doing, there was a time I was writing a book and I was really editing. I've gone far editing. All of a sudden, the next time I came to the system, everything wiped off. I was like, how can this be? How can this be? I remember one of my book I left in one country. I left that book in a particular country. I think that should be in Cameroon. I left that book in that country. I finished editing, proofreading, clearing everything the day I was supposed to travel and return back to Nigeria. Then we don't have phones. The office, I edited everything and left. The office locked up. For more than 2 weeks, they locked up. I kept calling and saying, they said they locked up. And even when I kept sending people, they could not find it. Was that the end of writing? No way. According to the story, Thomas Edison, having seen the fire burning, all his laboratories, everything he has labored for going up in flames, he was shouting and calling the wife to come and see how flames of fire goes up to the sky, the sides. And at the end of that fire, the man just carried the table by the side of the laboratory and told the workers, now we are going to continue to build, and we are continuing to do all that we have been doing. And guess what? After saying all he said, he just slept off. And the next day woke up and they started. That is the life of a man that's had the highest number of inventions all over the world. All right? So there's no quitting. You go through the story of Abraham Lincoln. He kept trying, and each time he tries, he loses, he goes higher. If he tries at House of Assembly, he loses, he goes to House of Rep. Every time he lost until he lost as a vice presidential candidate and now went ahead to contest as a presidential candidate and won. There is no giving up. There's nothing else. We don't have a choice. As far as vision is concerned, we don't have a choice. The only choice we have is to carry on. It doesn't matter. I've seen people who lost their truckload of petroleum products. They would have given up. They saw their fuel stations being burnt down. They would have given up. I've seen people whose vessels were capsized in the sea. Their vessels drowned in the sea. They would have given up. But nothing like that happened. I just want us to understand that no matter the matter, there is no going back as far as vision is concerned. The point of going down is the point of test. So we are going to be talking about the various kinds of tests, how this test comes in our next edition. Please, I want to encourage you to like, subscribe to our YouTube channels, follow us on other social media handles. All right. If you have questions to ask, you want to call us or contact us, go ahead and press those numbers on your screen, and we'll be here for you. We'll be handling all your vision challenges, and by the special grace of God, we'll be helping you out at every stage in life. I want to appreciate everyone who has been following us, everyone who has been calling, and our partners all over the world who have been supporting this project. We want to appreciate you. Thank you very much. I'll come your way again for the next edition of VISIONOMICS, the test of vision. I celebrate you.